Hello and good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday afternoon. We have 73 people in the room. We're so glad you've decided to spend some of your Saturday with us to see these exciting challenge presentations. So I'll begin. After 5 days of theory of change sessions, worksheets, consultations with tech experts, market experts, NTFP, and community development mentors, grueling morning, day and night, and midnight and dawn team meeting sessions, our 4 teams coming from 6 different countries, residing in 3 different continents, are ready to present their ideas for change. From the 20 that registered to work, 15 have diligently pursued the challenge till today. Many of them had internal challenges, time zone concerns, internet connection issues, headaches, were juggling family and work considerations, balancing the hackathon with attending the CBNE forum sessions and other individual concerns. But they all made their best effort to contribute. And now they will be here to show you the results of their work. I also forgot to add that the teams are from such a wide range of ages, from 23 to 73. So, but somehow they've made it work within their teams. So now we'd like to introduce to you these teams. I'd like to share my screen so that I can introduce them. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Here they are. I hope everybody has found their interpretation channels. Those of you who have been with us already know to go to the interpretation and choose the channel you want to hear. And remember, Nepali is in the Chinese channel. Please inform us if you have any issues with your interpretation. Okay, here we go. Okay. These are our 4 teams. Oops. Sorry. Can everyone see the screen? Can you give me a thumbs up if you can see the screen?
We can see your screen, but
thank you very much. Okay, so we have 4 teams. Team 1 is composed of people from 4 different nationalities. We have Dr. Shalini Dian from India, who is a specialist on sustainable use of underutilized, especially underutilized materials, and is also part of the intergovernmental body on plant and biodiversity and ecosystem services. The second person on the team is Maika Saar. I think she's the youngest in our group, promoting women empowerment for the indigenous people of the Palawan in the southern part of Brooks Point, and also very concerned about protecting their ancestral domain in the area. Joining them is Kanlaya, or we call her Jung, from Thailand, and she is also representing a group of indigenous women. And she is from the mountain area, from the Hmong group. We have also with us Nirmala from Nepal, from a place called Banepar near Kathmandu. She's had a very interesting life, supporting very many social causes, including those of the victims of domestic violence and the underprivileged. She's created cooperatives as well, and she is part of Team 1. We now go to Team 2, composed of 5 individuals. First is Stella from Malaysia. She also has some pitching experience. and is also interested in issues of the environment and climate. We have also Monsi from the Philippines. He comes from Zamboanga down south. And he and his daughter launched the initiative called Kids Who Farm. And his daughter is 11 years old. I wish she could join us too. The third member of Team 2 is Agatha. Agatha is based in France. So you can imagine she gets up at 3 o'clock to join team meetings. I'm not sure if she's here, but it would be great to see her if she's here. She is a mangrove specialist and studying mangroves as well, from afar where she is. The other members of Team 2 is Tita India, as we call her. She's an artist, and she's also working, placing her artwork on pineapple fiber. She's from the island of Aklan. And we have Toto, or John Vincent Colili, from Palawan in the Philippines. He's representing the samahan ng mga katutubong, mga kabataan ng katutubo, or the indigenous youth of the Philippines. Also from an Almasiga gathering group, or a resin gathering group in their forests. And that's Team 2. Team 3 are these Indonesians, very active Team 3. First is Pak Yusuf Magwantara from Martani Group. He is working on a small social enterprise marketing floral teas, especially from the butterfly pea and other natural products. Then we have Repa Kustipia, and she is involved in ethno-food science and ethno-gastronomy. Very interesting background, very interesting experience that she brings to this group. And last is Sufriadi, and he is a palm sugar farmer, as well as a computer technician in his local government office. And he comes from Sulawesi. So we have several islands involved here. And finally, we have Team 4. Team 4 is composed of Pak Dai from Jambi on the island of Sumatra, working with an NGO called KK Warsi and helping them with their sustainable livelihoods. Ibu Megan's son is on another continent in North America. She is in Ohio, a 12-hour difference from Manila. She is a businesswoman and exports organic food and NTFPs to the US. And then we have Harry, who is a student in his graduating year, focusing on renewable energy, and from the Prasetya Mulia University. So that is group 4. So we have an interesting mix of all groups. And now I will introduce you to our judges. We have an esteemed panel of judges. So, and here they are today. We've just been meeting them. The first is Diana May Basino from Human Nature. I'm going to talk a little bit about her and about Human Nature for those who are outside of the Philippines who may not know about them, though they are famous worldwide, I would think. So Diana May Basino has been with Human Nature marketing team since 2015, handling various products and categories, in addition to various advocacy marketing campaigns. Human Nature is one of the well-known brands in the field of natural products in the Philippines. It has garnered awards from People for Ethical Treatment of Animals, the Ernst & Young Social Entrepreneur of the Year Award, both in 2011. They also uphold the strictest criteria for natural claims as being a member of the Natural Product Association of the US. And they've also received the Ecovia Intelligence Award for sustainability, for being a sustainability pioneer, which the first for an Asian beauty brand. So now I go back to telling you about Diana. So she is, before joining Human Nature, she has worked in Unilab, Philippine Airlines, and the National Economic Development Authority. She graduated with a degree in statistics and a master's in business administration. Our next judge is J.R. Demakais, and let's hear about him. He comes from WIGO, and he is actually wrapping up another hackathon with a foundation in the Philippines. So he has a lot of experience with this. He is the president and co-founder of WIGO Incorporated, a social enterprise providing consultancy services specializing on program development, training and development, and impact assessment. He is a program consultant to the Corporate Social Responsibility team of the Bank of the Philippine Islands Foundation, Makati Medical Center Foundation, and Northern Luzon Renewables, among others. He has managed international projects funded by USAID, Spanish Embassy, US Embassy, Oxfam HIVOS, Embassy of the Netherlands, and other international NGOs and multinational companies. Our third judge is someone not foreign to us, our own Kate Mana Galido. She is currently the Program Monitoring, Evaluation, and Learning Coordinator of Non-Timber Forest Products Exchange Program Asia. She was previously with the Philippine office and now has moved to the Asia office, and she has specifically focusing on resource management and advocacy concerns. She has had 23 years of extensive hands-on experience in the field in community-based resource management and facilitating partnerships and engaging different stakeholders on environment and human rights issues. She has also recently been the co-owner of Back to Basics Eco Store, a zero-waste store that provides easy, affordable, and convenient access to household and personal essentials without unnecessary packaging. She has also teamed up with a group of women to take an active part in diverting single-use plastics from the ocean and landfills. Okay, so there you have it. Our our three judges and our four teams. Does anybody have? Okay. Oh, but Dazzle, you saw the PowerPoint, right? Yes, I hope everybody saw the PowerPoint. Great. Okay, so now because it's already 1:23, we'd like to start the presentations. Okay, we will be starting with Team 4, who has requested to go first. And if I understand correctly, the first presenter will be Harry from Team 4. So if you can please spotlight Good Day Harry Arum. And I have received your latest version of the PowerPoint. So that is what we will be sharing. And then when we share that, then you can then stop my spotlight. Yes. So Harry, the floor is yours, and Joy is timing you maximum of 10 minutes. Thank you. Good luck.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you hear me? Okay, good.
Yes.
Thank you. Good afternoon, judges from Hackathon. We are from Group 4, and I'm Harry, and my partner, Ms. Megan and Mr. Day, and we are from Group 4. Next. Next. Okay. Did you know the rice consumption is on decline among health conscious consumer? In fact, the rice is believed to be the culprit of some chronic diseases such as diabetes. In fact, Indonesia is the country with the 7th largest diabetes suffered in the world, with a total of number is more than 10 million cases in diabetic adults. And if this downward trend in rice consumption is continuing, the livelihood of organic rice farmer and the biodiversity is in nearby forest in Solok, West Sumatra will be in serious jeopardy. They will harvest and sell the timber grown in the nearby forest to feed their families. And illegal logging will destroy the water supply and biodiversity in the forest. And that means no water and no life. In a nutshell, decline in rice consumption, make illegal logging, and do the permanent damage to biodiversity in nearby forest. Next. Because of that, we are from Group 4 have a mission to transform the life of those organic rice farmers in Southwest Sumatra so they have a higher life quality in terms of income, education, health, and the other. And our big idea is to make a program that called the Center of Excellence for Organic Rice Innovation. What we do here is diversifying rice product and upcycling and recycle rice byproducts through added value product and technological innovations. And our measurable impact, the first is organic rice farmers in Solok are able to double their income within 2 years of joining this program under the Center of Excellence. And the second, it impacts the forest diversity is sustainability conserved. And why current ways are not working? The first is mistargeting market segment, and second is invisible to target market. The farmers do not understand market requirements and do not have access to the right market segments, such as health conscious middle and upper class consumer. Next. And the behavior mapping, the first is from the local government, especially regency level, must incorporate the above projects in their budgeting through RPGMD and RKP schemes. And the intervention is budgeting requirement and performance-based benchmark, including funding pilot projects for this program, imposed by relevant ministries at central government level. And the second, local NGO must reach out and work hand in hand with regency. Budget allocation by Regency to work with some local NGOs and funding pilot project for the intervention. Next. And the third come from the farmers through KUPS. This is the business legal for farmer must partner with academia for product diversification, such as GABA organic rice and upcycling and recycling projects, such as consumer and agricultural goods. The intervention is academia explained to the economically benefits of selling innovative products, conducts ongoing training classes, and how to produce such product. And the second is designer for product and packaging designs. Designers show various design appealing to the target market, some business entities to form a sales force to sell those innovative products. The third is some business entities to form a sales force to sell those innovative products. Business entities educate them on target market identification, product specs, and price cap. And the last is the academia or research institute must be provide some budget for such program and offer courses credit to their students. And the intervention is budgeting requirement and performance benchmark imposed by Ministry of Education on universities and research institute. In Indonesia, there's a program that we call Campus Merdeka or Independent Campus Program introduced by the Minister Nadiem Makarim. Next. And what our social impact model is social enterprise by partnering with relevant business entities to create a price scheme that is fair to farmers and consumer. We start from farmer through KOPS, partnering with academia, NGO, company, and government. And we start to make a target market identification, and we create the product and by product creation and design. We design the packaging and we make the price scheme. And we sell post creation to sell into targeted market such as targeted community, online store, and organic store. Next. Next. Okay, the last is plan to validate. How we validate our idea is the first is showing those farmer the superior health benefits of GABA organic rice and the premium price of GABA organic rice, and the last is additional income fetched from selling various byproducts such as to make a biobriquette and growing media and the other. And the second is conduct a pilot project. GABA-rice organic rice with targeted communities such as autistic children, children's clubs, fitness center, and the rice paper we can search the art communities, and the last is growing medium we conduct from horticulture communities, and the last is lab test results to make other people or target market believe what we do from organic rice. They must know about GABA organic rice is good with the lab test result, such as they have the low GI number, and rice byproduct have NPK, natrium, phosphor, and kalium level in soil to make growing media. And the last is biobriquette from rice hulls have high calorific value. Next. Thank you very much for all. Yes, from Team 4.
Thank you very much, Team 4, for presenting to us your idea, your new big idea on the Center of Excellence for Organic Rice Innovation. I'd like to ask if Team 1 is already here. Yes. Well, now she's entering the room. Shalini, can somebody accept her? Yes, okay. Great, welcome Shalini. Okay, so from Team 1, Shalini will be presenting. Yes, her mic has been unmuted, and I will find your presentation. Hold on.
Can I share my screen or how you want it?
We will be sharing your screen. This is it, right?
Yeah. Okay. Can I share my screen, because I have downloaded it and it's more better to watch it that way. Is it possible? Okay, I'm sharing.
Just as long as it's the same one that was submitted.
Okay, I'm sorry. So is this fine?
Yes.
And shall I start?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Good morning from India, and a very warm wishes for World Environment Day to all of you. I think I have 10 minutes to present.
Yes.
Okay. And with me in group 2, group 1 are 3 other members: Kanalaya from Thailand, Maika from Philippines, and Nirmalaji from Nepal. And our Lysian member was Maina. And we really tried our best to come up with some good solution to present here in the interesting forum that we were part of for last 5 days. It was an important, insightful journey that we had. So our idea is improving the quality of life for women in mountainous communities in Asia, because they face a lot of drudgeries because of a lot of reasons, and living in one of the remotest parts of Asia, that also creates a lot of pressure for different reasons. I'll not go in more details, but here are some of them that we state as a major problem that we discussed in our group. So the first important thing was that there is insufficient resource availability in most of these landscapes that can cater the larger market demands. The second important problem that we discussed was the lack of interest among a lot of youth who are now educated, and there are insufficient income opportunities available in these remote areas. And that's why they want to migrate to the urban areas and do whatever small or big job they land on. And this also enhances women drudgery, because women in this area now are left for taking care of the elders, and at the same time, they are also to raise the families and collect the bioresources for subsistence lifestyle. So this drudgery affects their health, their education, and many times their family and social environment. And it's important that we address this increasing pressure and the increasing drudgery as a major problem. And again, the important aspect was understanding that land and resource rights are one of the limited factors in decision making. So drudgery also leads to a lot of gender issues where women, though, are one of the major conservers and protectors of the natural ecosystems, they don't have enough rights in decision making regarding these ecosystems. Now, providing local opportunities for livelihood, we thought, can be a good way of solving these issues for women, because there are a lot of lesser known, underutilized wild edibles and wild plants that have a lot of potential for developing as product that women are knowing because of the rich traditional knowledge they have from their elders. And if they can develop value added products from these plants and NTFPs, they have chances that they can improve their life and improve their quality of life in future. So our mission statement was to address this bigger problem, was to improve the quality of life of women in mountainous communities of Asia. And the big idea that we saw discussed for a longer time was what can be the best solution for developing an NTFP based product that can really help these communities, something that has been not undertaken still, or been not undertaken at a good scale, that can really help these communities, because mountain areas are also the areas where a lot of tourists are coming. There is a lot of interest of people in the wild plants that are growing in the in these fragile landscapes. And at the same time, there is a huge market demand for wellness and beauty products that are organic, are coming from natural areas. So the big idea that we propose is creating a community engaged health and wellness brand from these regions that are based on NTFP based products that are maybe sometimes many of them are lesser known and are directly linked with the indigenous knowledge base. So that is the key USP of this big idea. And when we talk about the impact, what impact this can have, this brand can have, this brand of beauty and wellness that is from the natural and native NTFPs, the first important impact that we see as a broader impact is it can help, it will help socioeconomic conditions of the rural marginalized communities who are living in these very remote locations and they don't have enough livelihood opportunities. The second important area of impact was that we think that strengthening conservation through a livelihood approach can actually also help developing value chains and local enterprises by these women. Again, our important area of concern was that there is a lot of monocropping happening that is creating pressure on these ecosystems. So shifting from monocropping to these NTFP domestication and doing plantation and agriculture of these NTFPs can help domestication and conservation, both in situ and ex situ conservation of high value wild plants in these areas. Of course, once we shift from monocropping to these kind of practices that are planet friendly, we are also reducing the use of chemicals by alternative high value species domestication that doesn't need a lot of chemicals. And we are also aware that organic products are in much demand. Then the larger impact on society that we think is that it is able to address the gender issues in conservation and enterprises, because once financial security comes, it also strengthens the rights and these kind of disparities that we face in our societies, especially the remote areas. And of course, the larger impact will be on the larger customers and the people who have demand of health and beauty and wellness products coming from these remote areas and are organic in nature and are really proven to have some impact in improving the health and well-being of people. Now, moving to the behavioral map, we briefly understand that wellness and beauty products have a high brand value right now. It's a very big industry. And our behavior mapping exercise shows that for this important brand idea, Women participate in various activities that are from farming to harvesting, manufacturing, from NTFPs for restoring wellness products. We assume that it will not be like all women are doing similar tasks. The responsibilities will be distributed as per their interest and commitments. Women will attend trainings to be qualified enough for the jobs and responsibilities that are available in nearby resorts in these areas, or there are a lot of homestay programs where they can start their own such beauty and wellness spas and small industries. Then women participate also in marketing of wellness products to create market demand. So this is a very, very important area where women are not very well aware of, but we'll talk about this in our forthcoming slide. And while this industry is being stood up and we are setting up this brand is being set up by community member will create their own responsible wellness industries that also employs trained women from nearby areas after a certain time. And of course, because there is a huge pressure and there is a lot of regulatory concerns of government also for harvesting of resources of NTFP. So once this starts, there will be a local government will also relax regulations for excess of NTFPs because it's an interactive process. If they see that people are building their economies, our socioeconomics is improving, and at the same time, the species are being conserved in the forest area, government also really promotes these kind of projects. And they also will help in providing funding support for women for social enterprises. Now, the most important interventions that we assume and we propose are, first of all, research on sustainable restoration techniques. Restoration festival and training should be part of this entire program because communities are knowing certain things, but there should be some scientific like researchers or scientists who can really help them to understand what should be the seed collection protocol, how seed germination should take place, how best they can go for mass propagation of these species. So that will require some kind of external interventions. Of course, providing short courses for women on spa treatment, on product development. This is again another area of intervention where they'll seek interventions from different important sources. Intervention number 3 talks about conducting CSR programs with these companies. Once they have their brand being developed, it's important that they also conduct and are part of CSR programs. That's an important intervention. And then, of course, once these all things are in place, they can help community government. These communities can help the government for appropriate policy planning that helps local communities to fulfill their socio-economic ambitions for good quality of life. And while at the same time, they are ensuring that the species are well conserved and their ecological states are reinstated, restored, and protected in wild areas. Now, intervention.
You have last 2 minutes. Thank you.
So intervention number 5 is finding role for women, because when we talk about gender, it's not gender for women, it's also about men. So involving men is a great hand holding and creating a model, developing recipes that meet wellness standards, good efficacy, and last but not the least, using the testimonials and the power of social media and free trials to reach the larger customers, retailers, and markets. Now, our business model talks about selection of plants that we think based on indigenous knowledge will be good for domestication. And then at the simultaneous state, we talk about trainings, finding the funding opportunities, and once we get these funding opportunities, we go for spa treatments and domestication protocols, then that help in restoration of sustainable livelihoods and sustainable harvesting of resources. But at the same time, this funding will also help in product development, branding, and e-commerce opportunities. And if all can be addressed, I'm sure this helps in build capacity of locals and better quality of life. So the research plan is we survey what is available in our resources, which are preferred by communities, and understanding the training and capacity building needs of people. We understand that COVID is a situation where not everyone can go in person. So online training programs or master trainers can be brought in the villages. Doing the market assessment and analysis for product testing, price, and location is important. Product promotion through a lot of social media and print media and other channels. qualitative research to understand what is the impact of project. So this is a key plan and validation of the project that we propose. And our closing statement is that we believe that creating a community that is engaged in health and wellness brand is a less undertaken idea in many parts of this region. And it has the effort not only to improve quality of life, but also ensure sense of belongingness to their natural ecosystems by ensuring sustainable harvesting and restoration of these landscapes for human well-being. I thank you all, and I thank my team members for these discussions and putting up this big idea to all of you.
Thank you very much, Shalini, and thank you very much to Group 1. Interesting ideas for mountain women in Asia. The next group, so that was already Group 4 and Group 1. Now we go to Group 2. Group 2, who will be, Group 2, who will be presenting? Stella. Can we give co-host status for Stella? Open her mic. And I will. Okay. Go ahead, Stella, take it away. Good luck.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Meet Manning. Manning is 50 to 60 years old with a family of 5, and he's a fisherman and a potential coastal forest ranger in Ibahay, Aklan. Next slide, please. So one of the problems that Manning is facing and the world is facing is that globally, the area of mangroves has decreased by 1.04 million hectares between 1990 and 2020. Next slide. So this is Ibahay Aklan. It's a mangrove forest with an area of 8,000 plus hectares. Next slide. At Patronage, next slide. Our mission statement is to protect, preserve, and propagate sustainable use mangroves in Ibahay Aklan. Next slide. So why is this important? There are 7 main reasons why it would be important for us to do such things. One would be biodiversity, the livelihoods, the effect that it has on water, coastal defense, carbon storage, the potential of the mangrove as materials, as well as in general for sustainable development. Next slide. And to bring it down to a more specific area, we can see that in the Philippines itself, Calibo project, when they increased the mangrove forest area by 200 hectares, this actually helped to cushion the threat of floods and storm surges in Aklan's coastal areas during the Haiyan typhoon in 2013. Next slide. So this brings us to our big idea, which is to improve profitability and sustainability of mangrove-based livelihood activities of the fisherfolks of Ibahay Aklan. Next slide. So what's the deal? So current situation on the ground is that mangroves are protected by DNER, but our optimal status that we are looking towards is full protection of these mangrove areas. And currently mangroves are being cut by the local community. And we're looking for an optimal status where the mangrove forests can be preserved so that they can aid with natural migration of fishes, as well as strengthen coastal protection and protect landmass from floodings. But the current situation is that it is suffering from depletion of species, as well as the communities are forced to do this because of the insufficient income potential. Next slide. Next slide, please. Right, thank you. So now we move on to the behavior map. Our group has come up with 6 key behaviors that we feel we need to see happen. So in terms of payment and equipment, we feel that governments or sponsors need to be able to provide coastal forest rangers with payment that comes on time, as well as necessary equipment. Cessation of cutting needs to happen so that locals don't cut mangrove trees anymore. And we're looking at encouraging locals to use sustainable alternatives, like perhaps converting the mangrove forest the mangrove forest waste into charcoal briquettes, as well as using non-invasive fishing nets. We feel that the communities surrounding and outside also need to watch and read more mangrove-related materials, as well as an emphasis on discussing the importance of mangrove ecosystem within the community themselves. We also highlight the need for them to participate in sustainable digital readiness development activities. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, thank you. So moving on from our behavior map, we have come up with a few key interventions. So we feel that financial management, product marketing, potential sustainable alternatives all come under one particular invention we named as training. And we feel that we can achieve this training through our app solution. Moving on, we also identified that there is a need to use the intervention method of IEC techniques, which might include mascots, puppet shows, cartoons and comedy, and as well as the introduction of a proper social infrastructure or a network. We also feel that this intervention can be achieved through our app or maybe through offline methods. And so we also highlighted a key intervention which would be to establish partnerships. So things like contracts, agreements, incentives, certifications, and rewards, all of which we also feel are achievable with our app or offline methods. So moving on, next slide, please. This is our social impact model for patronage. So our first stage would be to prepare the society to undergo these changes. Then we'll be motivating them to develop their skills under the training that we provide. Collaboration occurs between the stakeholders involved, which could be like the mentors, the NGOs, as well as the fisherfolk themselves who are undergoing the training. And then for the next step, they'll be collecting their income from whatever skills that they have developed previously, and they'll be managing it because of one of our key elements of the training, which would be under financial literacy, and that would move on to the final stage, which would be to teach them or to encourage them to adopt practices of saving their income. Next slide, please. Next slide. Thank you. So our learning plan is that we're building a mentor network app. And what we want to see being measured through this mentor network app would, of course, be the increased profitability, number of mentor to community interactions, as well as number of community to partner interactions. What we hope to learn from this and how long it will take to get the data would be through our pilot phase of 1 to 2 years. And this would, of course, include regular feedback checkpoints. Next slide. Okay, so we're moving on to validation of our plan. So we feel that we have highlighted that the problem that Manning is facing right now is in terms of human factor. So perhaps we are suggesting that the technical skills capacity building that we will provide will solve this human factor problem. And because our app will have this app flexibility with online and offline modes, we're also ensuring for it to be used in different situations according to the needs of the fisherfolk. So in terms of profitable or it being profitable, we are looking at our idea comes from a foundation of impact investment. Previously mentioned in one of the forums is that we're not looking at quarterly returns and trying to convince investors of these quarterly returns. Instead, we're encouraging them to look at the social impact through the skills that they will develop through this training. And we're looking at building an ecosystem within an ecosystem. So the community that currently may be disconnected from outside resources that they can use to better their lives. And with the new mentor-centric ecosystem and the inclusion of partners, we feel that this would help encourage a more sustainable life for them. And of course, last but not least, is the protection, which will be achieving protection of mangroves and coastal communities. Next slide. Okay, thank you. And could next slide, please? Just briefly, I'd like to go through the appendix slides that we prepared, which cover, right, can you, next slide. So we did design a few UI interface panels for the app that would look like as is shown being shown on the screen. So it would come in a few different languages. There'll be categories for it, and the mentor system would also be open to rating from the communities themselves. And the final slide, please. Next slide. And we also have another solution, another sub aspect of our solution, which would be to encourage artwork ex mangroves kind of initiatives through our app. Thank you.
Sorry, we often forget about mangroves, so we're glad that your team has placed them right front and center. Thank you, Stella. And now we're going to move on to the last group, which is group number 3. May we know who will be presenting for your group? Can you open your video for whoever will be presenting for your group? Repa, can you open your video? You're not appearing on the screen. Do you see her? Oh, maybe you're appearing on somebody's screen. All right, are you ready? So you have unmuted her? Okay. And here we go. Let's get your PowerPoint on. Okay. Repa, are you here? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, you can start. Good luck.
Okay. Can you slideshow? Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Team 3, Yusuf Supriyadi Repa from Indonesia with SSOA OE project, small scale essential oil industry, and visit personal site. For the next slide, please. We know that the theory of change is a basic benchmark for determining the boundaries of the problem of making products from ideas that will be implemented or made at a scale level. And in this process, there is an elaboration of ideas from various perspectives and needs where local to global markets need rejuvenations and new products based on local wisdom, efficient, easy to operate and make and have benefit. And then this is the theory of change. Next slide, please. That's why there is a problem observed based on a field data and the experience of the creator and the community difficulties in determining and creating but scattered materials are even available from nature. This require processing and require tools that can support this because essential oils are NTFPs rarely touched and has not yet become a market product, but has a good and sustainable selling value and prospects because of the process, functions, benefits, and extractions that produce benefit from two aspects, namely oil and water. Water is like a hydrosol, which can be selling point. There are indigenous people who will learn a set of simple technologies are uncomplicated processing of the design that will be displayed and socialized and can be operated by ordinary people. Next slide, please. Next slide, please.
Are you on problem observed 2? Is that what's on the screen, or you want to go to the next one?
For the next one, because I just said before. Well, back to the theory of change, where our mission is to make small-scale oil industry, or SSOE, possible for indigenous communities. And as a big idea, the operations is easy, cheap, and without many requirements. Next slide, please. Next slide. As a behavior mapping, there are several identifications that are very significant, namely adoptions of essential oil in terms of simple technology, making agreements from several sectors and strengthening tools and materials, making superior products with local wisdom but solutions. And this is kind of the essential oil product. Next slide, please. This is, can you see about the interventions? As an interventions, of course, the local community is approached intimately, especially Indonesia still communal, still indigenous. The ambience still, is come from a small village and then a very indigenous community and have a local wisdom. So that's why this is the interventions is namely the FGD or focus group discussions method. So for the next is a free equipment is provided. Training and module design and prototype demonstrations can be even be made hybrid learning if possible after a pandemic is built back better. And then finally, you know about the Doer model. I think it's the next slide for the Doer model. This is the slide. Finally, the Doer model was chosen. This is very interesting model, namely communities from two regions. This is our choosing locations is Majenang for the first in Central Java and Kolaka located in Southeast Sulawesi, and made an agreement by deliberations, submissions of the set of the simple distillations technology tools, supporting indigenous community thinking, and then we can start from a conceptual framework, and then we can start from critical thinking by a local people with a local knowledge, and then cross-market distribution, and for the record of this business segment. So this, if possible, during the pandemic, but has started to clean up. It will start in August 2021 with the first community being in Majenang, and the next locations is Kolaka in Southeast Sulawesi in Indonesia for the next community. So the using materials from nature can be a result for the next essential oil product. So I think this is a very sustainable product from NTFP. For the last slide is because we're still communal and we have a genuine interest in solving the problem of the forest. So this is enough from our team. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Repa. Apologies for the delay in the slides, but it did not detract to the very interesting presentations. Okay, so now is the time for the judges to ask questions. What we will be doing is that we are making breakout rooms. So we'll be asking one team to stay here and the other teams will go to the breakout room. That's Hackathon team breakout room. Can we show? Yeah, it's just one room where they will go. So the first group that presented, who was that? That's Harry. So Harry, and if your team members are here, you will stay here. Shalini, team 1 for Shalini, and team 3, Repa, Pak Yusuf, and Supriyadi, you will also go into breakout. And team 2, Stella, Micah, India, Agatha, you all go to breakout. So please go to breakout. We'll wait for you to go there, and then we'll start asking questions to team 4. Team 4 is the Center of Excellence of Organic Rice Innovation. So please go to the breakout room. Micah, Shalini, India, Pak Yusuf, Repa, Supriyadi. Yes, the rest of the participants should stay here in the room. For the liaisons, can you tell me tell me with a reaction if your participants have already, the hackathon teams are already in the breakout? No, the interpreter should not go into the breakout. The interpreter should stay in this room. Very good question. Okay, so team 1, Shalini, you should go into the breakout. So you press join in the breakout. Can you see it? Hello? Can you unmute Shalini so we can hear what she's saying, please? Please, yes, and Kanlaya should also go in the breakout. Yes, Shalini?
I'm not seeing anything to go in the breakout.
Maybe click the 3 dots that say more. Are you seeing that?
Okay, yes.
Yes, so go into the breakout, please. And also Kanlaya, I heard, is also to go into the breakout. So yes, press join, press yes. And then who else is going there? So are they already there? Dazzle, are your team members all there?
But which group to join?
You join Hackathon team.
Okay.
Don't join the judges group. Thank you. So press join, press yes. All right. So is everybody there from all the teams? Okay, so the ones that we have left here, right? Just checking. Can we spotlight, please, all the judges? Diane, JR, and Kate. Can we spotlight all of them? Okay, just make sure that the others are not here anymore. All right, please place your view in speaker view. We have 8 minutes since we're behind schedule. So please, oh, JR, please, JR should also be spotlighted. Yes, thank you. And include also Harry, Gede Harry in the spotlight. Okay, please kindly ask short questions and provide short answers. And please unmute, give co-host access to Gede and all of the judges. Thank you. The judges go into breakout room later, admin. Okay, so who would like to start? Any of the judges would like to start? JR? Sorry, please give co-host status to JR. Are you able to open your mic now?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Yeah. Good afternoon for this specific group. I call them the rice production organic group. So it would be easier to distinguish from the other group. So first of all, I like the idea. And it's something that's really close to a biodiversity intervention. I have only 2 questions. One is, number one is, how do you actually raise the awareness of the consumer in terms of buying organic rice compared to the usual rice that they buy? And then the number 2 is, how can you actually, there's a part in your presentation that says that government should, or the local agency should, support these kinds of projects, or should allot funding for these kinds of projects. How will you able to convince them to actually sustainably allot funding for this kind of project? So those are my 2 questions.
Okay, let's take all the questions first. Kate and then Diane. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I really like the presentation focusing on the big idea and the solutions. I think I also have 2 questions. First is for the problem, do you also see other factors that might affect the solution? Because you're focusing on one product, and I believe, like for Southeast Asia, we will be facing more effects from climate change crisis. So do you see any other factors that you need to consider? And second will be, as you focus on 2 impacts, one is on doubling the income. You were not able to elaborate more on how you can reach the doubling income. So maybe on how elaborate more on this.
Thank you very much, Kate. And may we hear from Diane? Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. It's such an interesting presentation because I too am an organic rice eater and I'm a heavy rice consumer. So this is very interesting for me. I only have two questions. First is that in your presentation, it's not clear to me if you want to focus as a retailer of the rice that you're going to produce or as a supplier to retailers who sell organic rice. So that's what, because they would require different models and different activities under each program. And then number two, I also noticed that you have a lot of potential partners in mind. You wanted to have partnership with the government, with private sector, even with the academe. But if you can just choose one partner that you will prioritize, what do you think will be most beneficial to your project? That's all.
Thank you very much, judges. And Harry, you have 4 minutes to answer all the questions. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for the question. That's the great question. I think I want to answer the first from Mr. GR. How do we raise the awareness about from the consumer? We try to make some digital contents from social media and website to raise awareness about why we need to consume the organic rice. Why we need organic rice? Because organic rice is more healthy than the other rice like that. And we give the fact about the GI number and the other fact about the nutrition in organic rice. And the second, how do you must support government? How do we get the support from government and NGOs? Just the fact in Solok, West Sumatra, there is already some policy about they declare it about the urgency is organic urgency. We just need to follow up the government and NGO just can hand to hand to work about this policy, and they have already have some baseline for policy about that, and we can drive the program from this policy. And from Ms. Kate, how can we increase income from the farmer, right? And the first, in the problem is farmer not do know what the price of organic rice, and they are sell the organic rice with the same price with conventional rice. Because of that, we want to train them to know about the price game and how to sell the organic rice and get to target market. And we want to make them know how to produce the byproduct from the organic rice, such as rice husks. We can make a growing medium, and we can make bio briquette then that have more added value and high price in the market. And then what is focus on retailer and reseller? We just focus on this program not to sell, but we want to educate the farmer and the market, because that we want to make a sustainable and circular economic in this organic rice, because that the farmer will educate and get have insight and knowledge about how to sell the organic rice and how to increase the quality of organic rice, and the market will be receive the great quality of organic rice, and they know about what the organic rice is more healthy than the other. And a lot of potential that we do. We choose the first is academia. Why? Because the government is already make a policy, and the academia here is near about university. They call Andalas, and we try to make the diversification product, such as to increase the quality of organic rice. We can use the university lab to make the fact about GI level and other nutrition and in the experimental lab. And with the university, they have a program about Kampus Merdeka in Indonesia, and we can call about independent campus. The student can turn on the field and help the farmer with the such as course, and they implement what they learn in the campus. Thank you.
Thank you, Harry. Thank you very much for your responses. And we are now out of time, but you may stay here while we call on the next group. You will stay here, and judges, we will be calling on Shalini from team 1. I've asked Dazzle and Maina to please call Shalini from the breakout so she can come back here. And also the technical team, can you call her to come back here? Just for the information of the rest of the audience, the judges are being judged on 4 main criteria. Just tell me when she's here. I'll just explain while she's coming in. 25% for the understanding of the problem, the analysis of the problem. 40% on how well the idea addresses the root cause of the problem. 25% on how the group is able to explain, how to validate and test the idea. And the fourth is 10% bonus and presentation. Okay, Shalini is back here. So you can already remove the spotlight first from Harry. Thank you, Harry. Okay, now we have with us team 1. This is the NTFP's Beauty, Wellness and Beauty for Mountain Women. Thank you. You will have 4 minutes. Yes, total 8 minutes. Thank you, judges. Why don't we go ahead? JR first.
I also have 2 questions. Number 1 is, what infrastructure do you already have in order for you to develop all the products that you've mentioned, or the products that you want to develop? And then number 2 question, in the value chain, so looking at your proposal or your presentation, there are a lot of products you want to develop. Where do you want to focus on? Do you want to focus on the, there's a healing spa, there's also some essential oils, some medicinal components or products. Where do you want to actually focus on? In the production side of those, or really marketing the product?
Thank you so much, JR, for this very important question. And
sorry, Shalini, I forgot to say, all 3 judges will give the questions and then you will answer. Sorry about that. Just hold your idea, hold your response. Okay, next, Kate.
Thank you, Team 1. I also really like the presentation, the idea that is focused on women, and I love wellness products. And and also, of course, I miss the spa, especially this pandemic. So my question will be, if I will be your customer, because we all have many spa and different wellness products, how can you convince me to buy your product? What is unique about your product? I think that's just my question, considering that it's pandemic also. Thank you.
My turn. I actually have only one question. I'm just wondering if you went as deep as understanding the women, because it's women that we're trying to empower, right? If you went as deep as understanding what's stopping for the women now from actively participating in the economy. Because I know culturally some women in many communities tend to the family, take care of their children, take care of the house. So with this new development that they're going to be active participant in the economy, they'll be part of the workforce. How will they be able to balance it out? Something like that. If you were able to also consider that in your project. Thank you.
Thank you, judges. I think now I have all the questions. I like to start from the last one and then go to the first question.
Sorry, Shalini. Can the tech team invite also the other members here I thought
Please.
they weren't here. Yes, so please invite them. Invite them to join us. So there's Micah, there's Kanlaya, there's Nirmala. Please invite them here, and we'll just type the questions in the chat in case they have any other things to add. Sorry, that was my mistake. I will be typing Micah, Nirmala, and Kanlaya. So I'll be typing the questions, and since Shalini heard them, she will respond. But if you have any other responses, then you can add. So please turn off your mute your mic first, Nirmala. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, judges. My all group members are here, so I'll just go with the questions, and they can add their viewpoints as well if they feel like I'm missing on something that they would like to add. So the last question that I'm taking first is was from Daini Besino, judge, and she asked me, like, what is stopping women from getting this economy? And they already have a lot of tasks to do in their households for running their families and so many things in mountain areas. We know it's more beyond the household tasks, like getting fuel, wood, fodder, and maybe water at many points of time. So how are they going to balance these things? I think most of the time women are going longer distances because they don't have alternatives at their they're closer to their households. And second important thing is the financial constraints that result in collecting everything from the nature and the nearby forest areas. And these kind of opportunities are very lucrative to them because everybody wants that alternative source of livelihood for them. And I have my personal experience, and my group members are also field-based observers and practitioners. So they know that women want to do something that's relevant and that can bring some kind of economic benefits for them. And there are clear evidences where when such women's help groups have been started in mountain areas or cooperatives have been formed, they find these afternoon times of few hours to actually contribute to it. So one thing is how they will find time. So one thing is contribution in the off times. While we see as this wellness brand and beauty brand a full-time, maybe a full-time engagement for when they are starting up this business. So at that time, I think they will need more time to contribute. But the way, and being a woman myself, I personally think we know how to juggle our times and how to do multitasking. So with that and our experiences in different parts of Asia. So I think that's where. So I think that's where we can contribute, and the balancing is something that we feel that they can balance as well. And stopping from economy because they don't have direct market access, they don't have market next to them. And if they want something like value-added products by bioprospecting and making edibles also, there are a whole lot of these products in the market. So there is a huge competition, and that also restricts getting them direct benefit out of these products. So that also gave us a reason why we should think differently and out of the box on beauty and wellness products that are not very much in market, produced by these women in the mountain areas of Northeast Asia and South Asia, where I work and why my colleagues, group members are working. So this is the first question that I answered. Now I'll be quickly answering everything so that we have enough time so that my team members can also join and pitch in and add some more points. The second thing was Judge Kate asked me, like, she's a customer and how I'll convince her to buy my products that are developed in remote areas and from women who are not scientists, who don't have that technical expertise. But I think we are living in an age of globalization, and this pandemic has stressed the importance of why we need to develop our immunity. And we have a lot of interest to these organic and wild products because we think they're really good. We already have faced a lot of chemical related products that are not very much preferred any. And everybody wants to support these smaller initiatives that are more sustainable and can help some communities. So my USP to sell my product to you will be to convince you that these are standard products and they are original organic products that are being developed by these women. and they do have established result-oriented output. Like these are already tried from generations in the community, and that's why women don't have wrinkle. Or if you use these essential oils, maybe you can have better outputs as well. And my brand will also try to come up with certain already listed customer details where they endorse our product and feedback. So I'm sure that kind of feedback also helps the customers to go. We always, whenever we go for e-commerce sites, we always look for how many 5 stars and how many positive feedbacks are there. So on honest grounds and with the convincing, with the real products that we are offering you from the mountain areas, I'm sure something coming from biodiversity hotspot that doesn't ecologically affect has enough potential to convince you to buy. And twin benefits of buying them: you are not only buying it for your own well-being, you are also addressing the larger context of restoring these landscapes where you are not able to go. And maybe even these times or maybe a little longer, and the communities also need some livelihood. So this can be a better opportunity and reason why you should buy these products. So I hope I addressed the context and the question appropriately. Now the first and most important questions asked by Judge JR. I think they are the most important questions and the toughest questions we have to answer. The first thing was, do we have that infrastructure? And if we have the infrastructure, what kind of infrastructure do we have? So if we talk about these remote areas and how capable they are, I think we have to start from scratch. We might not have enough of infrastructure because people have never even thought of having something like a beauty product, a wellness product from their forest, domesticating it, making products out of it, and selling in the market. So this is a new concept, but there are a lot of new developments that are happening in many parts where extracting essential oils by using a cost-effective and low cost. These techniques are now coming in, but they have to start somewhere. And so infrastructure, if you talk about infrastructure, definitely they have to start at somewhere, and that's not available. Second important question was, we have an array of products that we are projecting through our entire thing. We are talking about the wellness and beauty products. We're also talking about jobs and training women in spa jobs. And then, so it's basically an entire brand that we are thinking about. When we discussed about this, we had in our mind some of the plants that have these essential oils, that aromatic oils that can be used for essential oils. But at the same time, there are a lot of indigenous products that are made from like local flowers and all, local masks and packs and oils. For example, I remember from the many parts of mountains, we have this bitter almond oil that's now very, very precious, that is being used by even urban, and that's in very high demand. Then, of course, innovative soaps by using different products. That's what we can propose. I'm sorry for being little.
Thank you, Shalini. Yes, thank you, Shalini. We're almost out of time. That's why we'd have to go to the next group. But we've been receiving Kanlaya's points, so I hope the judges can look in the chat. And just asking, Micah, do you have any one statement that you want to share to any of the questions? Micah, or has she lost the sound? All right, while we're testing her sound, Nirmala, do you have any one statement you want to share? Any statement? Micah and Nirmala, or you can continue just writing in here. Okay, I think there's a problem with the connection. Micah, one statement from you? Any? Hello? Okay.
सर म भन्छु है त
Yes. Yes.
सबभन्दा ठुलो कुरा चाहिँ नेपाली या नेपाल अथवा महिलाहरू पछाडि अर्थव्यवस्थामा पछाडि पर्नुको कारण चाहिँ शिक्षा हो। तालिमहरू नहुनु, भेहिकलको पहुँच नहुनु, त्यस्तै गरेर उहाँहरू चाहिँ यो निर्णायक तहमा नहुनु नै मुख्य पछाडि पर्नुको आधार।
Oh, thank you. And we go to interpretation and press English, and then Bishal will translate.
Nepal, the women in Nepal are feeling too much problem, and I think this is the main problem to the women.
Thank you very much, Nirmala, and thank you very much, Team 1. So you may remain in this room, and now we're going to call team team 2. Team 3 is last, I think. The mangroves team.
Mangrove,
Can you
yeah,
please call the
mangrove.
mangroves team here? So that would be Stella. Who else is here from mangroves? Thank you very much, team 1. In case Micah still wanted to make a point because of her technical problems, she can still write in the chat. Thank you. So that would be Toto, India, Stella, Agatha. All right, so can we put a spotlight on Toto and Stella and India and Agatha if she's here. Okay, great. Toto's here and Stella is here. Is India also here? Okay, let's start. So for this team, you will have just a total of 8 minutes supposed to be. So please keep the responses short, and the judges will also be keeping the questions short. Thank you.
I'll start.
Go ahead, JR. Yeah.
Okay, so 2 questions. Number 1 is, what exactly is your alternative livelihood for people who you mentioned in the presentation cut down mangroves? And then question number 2 is, do you think the fisher folks have gadgets such as mobile or whatever technology that you need in order for your app to run? So those are my 2 questions.
Hello, thank you, group 2, for thinking of the mangroves also. And for me, what I really like that you presented menu of solutions. So my question will be, from the menu of solutions you presented, what do you think? Maybe choose 1 or 2 a solution that you think will have greatest impact to Maning and also in solving the mangrove destruction problem. Thank you.
Hold on, before the last question, please spotlight Anna India and unmute her microphone. Thank you.
JR, we have the exact same questions. So I'll just reframe and tweak my second question. And that is, can you elaborate on the app that you mentioned? It's maybe I just didn't get it from the presentation, but I want to understand what's the objective and who are the users and how will they benefit? Who will benefit? How will it benefit the fishermen in Aklan as well as the mangrove reforestation? Because I'm not sure if it's for the fishermen, if it's for the general public. That's all.
Okay. Maybe one person can take a question each, and then we'll be done. And we're missing one person. Did some person drop? Shouldn't you be 4 here? Okay. So who will be taking the first question?
Can you repeat the question, because my microphone was muted.
Okay. We'll write it in the chat. So maybe the first person who was here can already respond to the first question.
Okay.
There's somebody else that dropped. Shouldn't you be 4?
Toto is here.
Yeah.
Toto dropped.
He's here.
Yes, Toto should be spotlight. Okay. Toto, were you here for the first question? Can you help us in answering? And Stella was also here. Unmute, please. Hold on. Okay, thank you.
So, and hello everyone. So I didn't really manage to catch the first 2 questions because my internet suddenly lagged. So, but before we answer the questions, maybe I would like to request Stella to share her screen.
We don't really have that much time, Toto, and we have to give the same benefit to all the groups. So please kindly answer the question, or maybe Stella was in the room, so you could answer the question.
Okay, no, because it's gonna answer the question about how the app will
Okay.
help. Yeah. Okay.
Is that okay with the judges?
Because we're gonna
Yes, okay.
show the user interface.
Okay.
So regarding the first question, we'll come back. The sustainable alternatives that we covered also includes crab farming, and we'll go back to that. But this is to answer the second question as how the app will work. So what are the things that the app will work? And it's aimed for fisher folk, primarily aimed at fisher folk, but we're having mentors who will join the network, and the public will be able to access the app from a different, they will access a different interface of the app. So what happens is when the fisher folk enter the app and access it, so they can choose from the different stages that we already identified. So for instance, if it's about collecting and managing their finances and enterprise, so this is the kind of interface that they'll see. They will have a few mentors that they can reach out to on bookkeeping or credit management. And when they look for a mentor, the mentors will be listed on the app as such. And when they look into a mentor, they can apply to be their buddy, which means that the mentor will directly contact them later or book an appointment to get to know what the mentor can do for them. And then there's also a ratings and review for each mentor. And we aim to kind of reward the mentors in terms of what their efforts, how they've been helping, how many communities they've already impacted. And this is an example of how the app is usable both online and offline method. Yeah, so that's just a quick run through of that. And to go into the first question again is that there is mangrove crab farming and mangrove nurseries, which will fund reforestation programs. But primarily we're looking at because there's training that has been done before, and reforestation efforts have always been kind of existing, but we feel that the current gap that they are facing right now is the educating and on how to use the particular skills and implement it on sustainable mangrove protection. So we feel that the gap is still a part of training, but in a different form. Primarily, we see the need for a mentor-centric training. That's what our solution is going for. So in a few words, I would say that our solution would be education with mentor-centric education or training for the fisher folk. I hope that answers the first two questions. And yeah.
Which question wasn't answered from the judges? Maybe you would like to repeat for the other team members that were here. Which question wasn't answered? Or were they all answered?
I think the alternative livelihood while the app is being developed.
Maybe Tita India, did you get that? The question is, yes, would you like to answer?
We have other alternatives. There will be many, but then we would be focusing on one at least for a start. And the fisher folks and families that need to have food on their table, especially in time of pandemic, we have this art program in the mangrove area, which the artist will be going there and paint there. But this the materials, basic materials, they can paint, and then after painting they can donate one. And when we will have an annual exhibit, their paintings and plus their works will also, and we will also be open for selling. And from that, from there, we will offer catering or food. The first meal would be free, but the rest will be with charge. So it can generate an income to the catering service that they will provide, and also the sale of the the artworks would also have a share with the art, certain percentage for the artist, then the catering service, the fisher folks, and also for continuing the program, not just 1 month but ongoing. So the benefit would be it's a holistic benefit for everyone, and it is different from trainings that we have, but we could generate income through those things and provide also trainings that they would need from the crab patterning, the fish pen development, which will not destroy the area itself. So
Thank you.
alternatives that we provide are for people with disability.
Thank you, Tita India, for that very
Thank
good response and for a good sector that you're also helping out. Thank you very much. We also
Yes,
recognize
thank you.
Agatha, who is here from France and is typing the responses. Thank you so much for this complete group of 5, all here and all responding. Thank you very much, Mangrove Group.
Thank you.
And please join me in welcoming our last group. Please call in Team 3, the Essential Oil Group. For those who are here for the next session, we apologize for the delay. We'll just do this group, have one very short judges breakout and come back with our decision. So judges, you can already start to make your scores for the 3 previous teams, and then you can score as well for the last team after we hear their responses. Okay, welcome, Pak Yusuf, welcome. Welcome, Supriyadi, and that's just you because Ibu Megan is it's 2 o'clock in the morning in Ohio. Okay, so you have we have a total of 8 questions. Oh, Refa, sorry, not Ibu Megan. Sorry, Refa. Where's Refa? Isn't she here?
Yeah.
Please spotlight Refa, and please open your video or else they can't spotlight you. Refa.
So I'm in a remote area, so cannot share the video.
Oh, okay. All right. So sorry, we won't be able to spotlight you, but we hear your voice, and you also can type in the type chat. So you only have 8 minutes. The judges will give very short questions, and please help us with short answers. Thank you.
Okay,
Go
I'll
ahead,
start.
JR.
Yeah. I only have one question. Have you tried already the machine that you presented that it can extract oil from plants?
Yes, we
That's
have tried.
my question only.
Yes, we have tried. We have tried this machine.
Was your question is they've tried and are they successful or?
Yeah, have you tried and how was the result for you?
For one batch extraction, we need 2 kilos material. For example, clove leaf, and we need 6 liter water, and then we can gain 4 milliliter oil, essential oil, and 2 liter hydrosol.
Okay, thank you, Pak Yusuf. Okay, the point is it's good, it's successful, you were able to do it. Very good. So you have proof of concept. That's what our judge wanted to hear. Next, judge, please, Kate.
Yes, you've mentioned that the 2 problems are underdeveloped NTFP essential oils, and second is lack of machine. So my question will be, and you also mentioned that you are already processing essential oils. Did you see any environmental impacts also of scaling up your essential oil production? Like you will use more fuel wood, and how are you going to minimize this impact? And second, in your plan, you did not mention any marketing plan how do you plan, if you have all these products, how do you plan to help the community sell these products? Thank you.
Okay.
Wait first on the response. We'll ask Judge Diane to ask the next question, and I will also type in Bahasa Indonesia inside the chat for the last question. Okay. Thank you. Go ahead, Diane.
So in your presentation, you mentioned that it is going to be a small scale project, and that you are going to buy the yield or the produce of the community. It's there in the intervention slide. So for the long term, will you teach them how to look for customers and how to sell their products? Because I don't think it will be sustainable if you are the one who keeps on buying from them. So that's my question.
Okay, I will try to answer. Yeah, for the impact, this is we have very little impact because we don't need a large amount of material, right? We use gas, and the waste we can make fertilizer to the waste. So there is no impact, I think. And the marketing plan, we have a institution named Martaniwik. We can sell it by online and so on. In this presentation, we don't write the marketing plan because according to theory of change, we have two specific action. So we not write the marketing plan. We have marketing plan, and in the long term, we hope that the community can use the essential oil and derivative product in that local area, and maybe they can sell also to other, not by to us anymore. That's our plan.
Any other responses? Mas Sufriyadi, kalau mau bicara harus diterima yang unmute itu. Dan mau sampaikan sesuatu?
Iya Mbak, saya mungkin sedikit menambahkan.
Mau dalam bahasa Indonesia? Nggak apa-apa.
Ya.
Kami nanti okay. He's going to speak in bahasa Indonesia, so please press interpretation and click English. Silakan.
Iya, saya kira saat ini untuk dari strategi pemasaran, saya kira salah satu yang akan mungkin kita lakukan adalah memberikan mereka edukasi tentang penjualan online. Karena saya kira saat ini yang akan lebih mudah menjual produk-produk dengan cara online. Demikian mungkin yang bisa saya tambahkan, Bu.
Repa?
Is he finished? Repa, one statement. Anything from you? Is she here? Repa, are you here? Or just type there, one statement?
Well, through online market and non-online market is really comprehensive, so that we can combine from a hybrid and hybrid digital market. So it's like a good and prospectus marketing to this product. Yeah, because we have a community to sell it, and yeah, for the essential oil is a big market. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Repa, and thank you very much to this essential oil group.
Thank you,
So,
thank you, Chrissy.
thank you very much. So now we'll ask you to stay here. And now the judges, we will go into, please take note, there are people still that are writing in the chat. Continue to ask and answer From the audience, if you want to ask questions to the group, I think the group members are answering. So please do that. Please do share knowledge. Now, the judges and Birdie, we will all go into the breakout room now. Right? There's a breakout room called judges, I think. Yes, at the end, you see it? Room 2, judges. Let's meet there. We have 5 minutes. Participants will be back here in 5 minutes. See you. Thank you for your patience. We are back. Okay, can we ask that you spotlight our hackathon master, Birdie Salva? Spotlight him and give him co-host privileges. Okay, you can unspotlight me. Remove spotlight. Can you please give co-host or unmute Birdie Salva, please?
Okay. All right. So, Chrissy, can I? The judges have given their scores and we have collated everything. So, do I have the go signal to announce the winners? Okay. So, to everyone in the room, thank you so much for staying with us until now, and to all the teams, thank you and congratulations for giving all of your amazing presentations and for answering all the difficult questions from the judges. And to the judges, again, thank you so much for grilling the teams and trying to find and understand their, their presentations, their loopholes, their and the opportunities for them to improve. So without further ado, wait, no, actually, before I announce, I'd like to give a bit of final words to the participants. So I've been with all the participants, mentoring you for the past 4 or 5 days, and I'm really, really happy to see all the results. I know things have been very challenging given the different time zones, different language, and of course, doing everything virtually. So we all have to work with the limitations of Zoom, and not everyone is using a laptop. We were all communicating, collaborating through cell phones. Are the teams still in the breakout, Chrissy?
No, the teams should all be in this room. Everyone should be in this room. So if there's anybody left in the breakout, or just close the breakout so everybody automatically comes back in this room. Thank you.
Okay, so as a final word to all the teams, we said at the beginning that you were tasked with really big challenges. Either it's about poverty, income improvement, drudgery, gender rights. There's so many problems that were presented to you, and you decided to take them on head and with full confidence. So, as we said, a lot of the ideas are basically your starting points. So we do hope that this whole exercise has been a learning experience for you to be able to form or tackle the systemic challenges in a more structured manner. And again, no matter what the results are today, we do hope that you take it as a stepping stone towards exploring other opportunities. All innovations at the very beginning are really unknowns, and it's through proper research, learning, building, prototyping, testing, that's when you'll keep on improving. And as long as you're very, very sure and committed to your mission, that that if you do things well, you are going to improve someone's life, then I really think it's worth spending your time on. So, okay, with that, I'd like to announce the winners. I will start. So we basically will be announcing 2 winners, the first highest score and the second highest scoring team. I will start with the runner-up. So the runner-up team with a combined average score of 86% is Team 3. Team 3, the Essential Oils team, you are the runner-up in this hackathon. Congratulations for all the hard work. Okay, now, the first team, the first highest scoring team with a combined average score of 88%, drum roll please. This is Team 4, Rice Production Team. So to the Rice Production Team, congratulations for all the hard work and for the amazing presentations. And yeah, thank you so much for joining in this hackathon. Chrissy, I pass it on.
Yes. Can we ask that we unmute team 4 and team 3 and just for one message from each team and open your videos, please? Yes, one message. Can you, for team 4, yes, Harry, what is your message?
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much for all the judges, mentors. I'm especially, just a student, and my partner, Miss Megan, and Pak Day, we already work hardly with different time zone. It's very hard to connect, but we still commit until the end of the day, until the presentation, and we hope our idea is can be can to duplicate into the real case in the West Sumatra with Pak Day in Warsi and the Solok organic farmer. And I'm very happy to joining this event, and I got some very much insight from other discipline, and I like to join this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Harry. They were working until 2 a.m. I'm monitoring them in 11 because I gave up, and they just kept going until 2 a.m. And you see the result of their work. Thank you very much. Can we have one representative from team 3? Who will it be? Maybe Pak Yusuf. Pak Yusuf, what is your message?
Ya, terima kasih untuk kesempatan ini. Kami senang.
Opportunity, we are all happy to learn together, and winning or as the loser, that's not the point in this competition. Me and our group are very happy to implement and to learn about the theory of change that we know our limitation at the field. We cannot do it by ourselves alone, but we can do it together. That's why we are happy to implement and to learn and to use the theory of change by the Bill Gates to build this business model together. And thank you very much to all.
And thank you to group team 3 and 4. For teams 3 and 4, we will discuss with you later. But there is a monetary package for this, and part of that is used to advance in the next round. So there will be a next round of crowdfunding and other possibilities, small grant. You have an opportunity to apply, and automatically you will advance. For teams 1 and 2, they were really great, and for some judges, it was very close. So please, team 1 and 2, you also have a chance to advance to the next round for the crowdfunding and small grants if you make some adjustments. So please don't lose heart. For the next round, those who have new ideas have to start from scratch. Teams 1 and 2, with new adjustments, you can advance as well. So we will be discussing everything in emails or with you, because right now we're already behind for our opening program, and we just wanted to thank everybody. To everybody, all the judges, all the Hackathon Master Birdie, our mentors. I won't name you all, you know who you are. Our liaison, you know who you are. Our support team in the background, you know who you are. And all the participants. I am so impressed and so proud to be with you and to be part of with you along the way, and to have no sleep for the last 5 days. I think it's been worth it. I think we have learned a lot. Congratulations to all 15 of you. For me, you're all winners. These ideas are great and doable, and we hope that we can start that journey with all of you. Thank you very much.